Another thing I really love at Asian restaurants is spring rolls. Now, most of the time they're deep fried, but some Thai restaurants you can get fresh spring rolls, and I love them. They come with a peanut sauce usually, and usually the peanut sauce is, I've gone in, it was really funny, we went to a Thai restaurant with my parents a couple weeks ago, and my daughter went to the bathroom and she came back and she goes, "Mom, I just went in the kitchen to see what they were doing in there, and they make their stuff out of Skippy peanut butter. That is so bad for you, Mom." And she's like, "I just don't know if I can eat here because it's Skippy peanut butter, and that has hydrogenated oil and sugar and everything in there." And I just thought that was really funny that my daughter took a tour of the kitchen and was being a little critical of them. But in truth, most Asian food is made with, high sugar, hydrogenated oil, and chemicals and stuff. So the other thing is, when I was trying to make a substitute for the peanut sauce that didn't have all that junk in it, I noticed that most of the recipes make you cook your peanut sauce to make it work. And so I try to not cook as much as I can. I try to just leave everything raw and fresh as possible. So it was my my quest to make a peanut sauce that didn't have any junk in it, and you didn't have to cook it. And so you guys will taste that in a minute, and I think it turned out really tasty. So I hope you like it. Here's how you make spring rolls. My daughter loves these. She begs for them all the time. This is a sushi wrapper. It's just made out of bamboo. You can get it at an Asian store. It makes your life way easier. If you have one of these, then your sushi wrappers and your spring roll wrappers are not sticking to the counter or the plate or whatever you're using. Can I have the pan of water, please? Oh, thank you. All right. Now these take a little bit of getting used to, but the secret is to have all your stuff right where you can reach it, and to have the pan of water there, and not be trying to do lots of things at the same time. So you just need everything all laid out pretty. And then here's how you do it. You dip spring roll wrappers in the water just for 10 or 20 seconds. And you can get thick or thin spring roll wrappers. I find that the thin ones kind of ball up and they're hard to work with. So I always get the thick ones, and it just makes it a little bit easier on me. There we go. And you just soak it for several seconds until it gets kind of pliable, but you don't want it super soft or it'll stick to itself like that, like it just did for me. Throw it on this bamboo sheet here and try to just keep it as smooth as possible. And then you can put whatever you want in here. I find that this is a great way to get my daughter to eat vegetables. When she was tired of salads and she just couldn't handle it anymore, for some reason, wrapping the salad up in a little wrapper and putting peanut sauce with it, that solved the problem. So this is a great way to get salad vegetables in and to make a vegetarian treat that's really delicious. So what I'm putting in, you don't have to put in every time. You can just mix it up and create variety. So I've got cucumber, bean sprouts, carrot, green onions. I did. There's little hand mandolins, which I'm going to give one out today in just a second. So it looks like a carrot grater, but it's kind of rippled. And so you just take that down your cucumber or your carrot, and you just, it shreds things up really quickly and really nicely. And I got mine at the Asian store for $2. It was really cheap. So it's a little hand mandolin slicer, and I'll show that to you in just a second. You can also, we did the cabbage with that. We sliced up the cabbage because it's hard to get the cabbage thin enough unless you have that. So you can just run that down the cabbage, run it down the cucumber, the carrots. If you put zucchini in there, that's a good thing to use it for as well. So we've got cabbage in there. Now the magic of fresh spring rolls is the herbs you put in there. So I'm going to put in some fresh mint and fresh basil. If you have a preference, you can use whatever you want. I have 5 different kinds of mint in my garden, and just whatever I happen to grab works out fine. So spearmint is really good and peppermint is really good. Just depends on your taste. Also, I have lemon balm, which is from the mint family, that tastes really good in there as well, and it grows just like mint. And again, like I said, you can put whatever you want in here. So just kind of figure out what you like, what kind of flavor you're looking for, and you can put anything you want in there. Also sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds in there. And then you roll. So here's why these things are so cool. You know, if you didn't have the roller thing, you would have everything sticking. So you just use this to create the pressure to roll it nice and tight. And it's sticking a little bit. We'll work with that. Sometimes if you put a little bit of oil on the bamboo, if it's sticking, that will help. Like I said, these take a little while to get used to, but once you've kind of mastered the art of rolling these things, then it's not so bad. It takes a little while to make friends with your food, though. Now, if you don't have these bamboo wrappers, they just kind of turn into a lumpy pile, so you can try it with or without if you like. So you roll it most of the way up like that. Can you guys see that? You can't? No? Okay. So I use this to roll it up most of the way. There's just a little bit of an end left right there. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to fold in the ends like that. And then finish rolling it up. And so that'll make the tucked ends be sealed in there. Then you just seal it up like that and it looks like a cute little roll. You like that? You can applaud. Go ahead. That's great. I use the same roller thing, but it's not as sticky. So I'm going to do seaweed in just a second, and I'll show you how. Plates, here you go. So you plate it up like so, and you have a little dish of peanut sauce on the side, and you dip it. And the mixture of the mint and the basil and then the peanut sauce, that is a great combination. So if you want to make your peanut sauce taste amazing, put in the mint and the basil. And that's how you do it. Do you guys have any questions about those? Yes, I will. And that's in your recipe book as well. But all you do is you take peanut butter. Now, there's a million kinds of peanut butter. When you read the ingredients of your peanut butter, you need it to say peanuts, and that's it, or salt. If there's something else in there, just peanuts and salt. Most peanut butters out there have hydrogenated oil and sugar in there as well, and lots of salt. So I just buy whatever brand of organic peanut butter that just has peanuts and maybe salt in it. Creamy works best for this sauce instead of chunky. Also, if you can get it in a glass container instead of a plastic container, our bodies really absorb any kind of environmental toxins that are out there. And plastic is one of the things that is causing a lot of cancer and a lot of other health problems because we have so many plastic products and our body can't eliminate all the plastic toxins. And also plastic, it stimulates estrogen, which estrogen is what cancer feeds off, one of the things that cancer feeds off. So eliminating as much plastic out of your life and out of your diet as possible is great. Now the thing with peanut butter is it's highly fatty and you're going to have to, like, all the oil separates at the top and you're going to have to stir it in. Anytime there's something really oily like cheese or butter or peanut butter, oil is a solvent, so what it's going to do is dissolve the plastic and you're going to get tons of plastic into your food if it's a fatty food. So especially, like, if you can't eliminate plastics out of everything, especially try to eliminate plastics out of any kind of fatty foods you're eating because those are the ones that dissolve the plastics into the food the most. And also foods that you're going to heat up. So anytime you heat food or have oil in food, that's going to give you the biggest risk of absorbing plastics. So anyway, the peanut sauce is, I'll read you the recipe. So we've got fresh ginger in there. Now ginger is also something that stimulates your digestive system. It helps you, it helps with nausea, it helps with digestive problems, and it also helps with mental clarity. It's a great food that benefits your health, and if you can put lots of ginger into your diet, it works great. The way I use ginger, it's very fibrous. So when I use ginger, I grate it on my, it's like the cheese grater thing, but not on the fat one, on the skinny one. If you grate it on that, then all the fibers, kind of as you're grating it, all the fibers stay on the outside of the cheese grater and all the flesh kind of goes and the juice goes onto the inside of the grater. And then you can just, like, all the fiber that's left, you just squeeze the juice out, throw that away, and then use the flesh and the juice from the ginger. And then that way you don't get that like hairy kind of fibrous ginger texture into your food. So we've got peanut butter, ginger, tamari, which is the raw or the soy sauce substitute, raw apple cider vinegar, honey, and 3 cloves of garlic. So with my Asian food, ginger and garlic is kind of the magic, one of the magic components of Asian food. So we've got the ginger and garlic in there, and there's just a pinch of cayenne pepper. So that's it, and you put it in your blender, mix it up. You don't have to heat it, you don't have to boil it. It's all healthy, super great ingredients for you. And that's it. Any other questions? Okay, you guys will have to clap real loud when you taste it because I know you're gonna love it. Okay. Next, we're going to do some sushi. I'm just going to move all this stuff to the side real quick. Let's keep that. Now, sushi is another thing that I love because you can put anything in here. Like, for instance, if you have something hot like that Mongolian beef substitute I used, you can put that in your sushi. You can put raw mushrooms in your sushi, avocados. There's lots of yummy stuff you can put into your sushi. Make it different every time. And so in your recipe book, I'm going to give you like 4 or 5 different sushi recipes that you can use. People that are trying to get away from bread and sandwiches and stuff like that, this is great because it's like a little pocket lunch, the spring rolls and the sushi. It's stuff that you can just make up, hold in your hand, and eat it like a sandwich, but you don't have the damaging effects of bread and wheat if you're having gluten problems. And so basically anything you can stuff in a sandwich, you can put in a spring roll wrapper or a sushi wrapper, and it works really great. So I'm just going to show you like one of my favorite vegetarian vegetable kind of sushis and see how you like it. Now with this, I've made a curry almond sauce to go with it. And with sushi, it's all about the sauce. I've been to sushi restaurants that, you know, they were okay, but it was just super bland. And then I've been to other sushi restaurants that were just like, wow, that was really fabulous. And after like figuring out what the deal was, it's all about the sauce. The ones that have the really yummy sauces, those are the sushis that I love. And the ones that are just kind of like bland, they don't have great sauce. So I've made a curry almond sauce that goes really well with the vegetables, and it really picks up the flavor of the sushi. So I think you guys are going to like this. Just got some sliced zucchini. You can do this on the mandolin, or you can just cut it with the knife. Now with the sushi and the spring rolls, can you guys see this? Like divide the wrapper into thirds and stuff it like on this third. You don't want to put it in the middle. You want to keep it on the front of it, and that'll make it easier to roll. I'm going to put some green onions in there as well. A little bit of carrots. Now, if you have a hard time with being on a vegetarian or a vegan diet, because you're always hungry and you're never satisfied, and it just doesn't seem filling enough for you, increasing the amount of nuts and seeds in your diet really helps to like improve the nutrition value and to make you feel like you're full and satisfied. Hemp seeds are a complete protein. They have all 20 amino acids in there and all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body doesn't produce. And hemp seeds are like one of the only vegetarian sources of complete protein all in one thing. So hemp seeds are a superfood. You can get them at your local health food store, and they have like a pretty pleasant flavor. You can make nut milks out of them. In previous classes, I've showed you how to make nut milks. All you do is put the hemp seeds in the blender with some water, blend it up, add some honey and a little bit of vanilla, a pinch of salt, and it makes a really, really yummy nut milk with hemp seeds that's super nutritious for you. Anytime you put them into your sandwiches, your salad dressings, or sprinkle them on salads, it's going to improve the nutrient content, and it's just going to make the flavor really amazing. Okay, now with sushi also, I was trying to find those cute little mushrooms because with sushi, the other fun part is looking at it and looking how cute it is. And they always have those little things sticking out the ends that are darling. Couldn't find any cute stuff to stick out the ends, but I'll try to make it look pretty anyways. All right, so alfalfa sprouts, and you can put bean sprouts in here. Alfalfa sprouts, it's really cool with sunflower sprouts. Those are really cute, and it looks pretty sticking out the end. Tomato gives a nice, Like normally sushi has raw fish in it. And if you slice up your tomatoes, it gives it kind of like the same sort of texture as raw fish. And it's kind of a pinkish color. So it's a nice way to trick yourself into thinking you're eating real sushi.
Do you have a reason for not using raw fish?
The classes that I teach, I try to teach them as close to 100% vegan as I can. The research shows that if you eat less than 5% of your daily calories of animal products, and that includes dairy, eggs, meat, fish, any kind of animal products that's not vegetable based, if you keep that down below 5%, you drastically reduce your risk of cancer and all sorts of other diseases. Anytime it goes above the 5% mark, your risks of cancers, diabetes, heart disease, it increases exponentially, not just a little bit, but for every percentage above 5%, it increases a lot. And so I try to teach most of my classes as close to completely vegan as possible, because most people are trying to lose weight, they're trying to reverse diabetes, they're trying to reverse their health conditions, they're trying to feel better, and you just can't do that eating animal products. And the research is showing more and more that the more strictly vegan you can be, the better protection you have against getting chronic illnesses, and the more chance you have of being able to reverse your symptoms if you already do have chronic illness. The other thing with fish is the waters of our earth are so contaminated right now. It's nearly impossible to get fish that does not have heavy metal toxicity and other toxins. So what happens is the fish, they're always running the water through them. That's the way they breathe. They absorb all the toxins from the toxic water and it concentrates it into the fish. So I read this thing once, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but you'll get the idea. They're saying if you go to a polluted lake and drink the water from the polluted lake, you can drink like 50 or 100 gallons of that polluted water and get the same amount of toxins as eating one fish that's been in that lake for a while. So those aren't the exact numbers, but that's the general idea. So the fish concentrate all those toxins, and there's really not a whole lot of places you can get pure fish that hasn't been toxified from the waters, just because that's where all our industrial byproducts are going, is into the water. So I try to, the health experts right now are recommending that you just don't ever eat fish at all. And a couple years ago, they were recommending only eat it once a week or something like that. And the latest recommendation is just stay away from fish and any kind of sea animal products. So, yes, it is sad. On that note, with fish oil, because fish oil is one of the sources of your omega-3s that are helping people reduce inflammation and improve their health, there are fish oils that have been processed in a way to remove all the toxic and heavy metals, the toxins and heavy metals out of the fish oil. It's called pharmaceutical grade, and what that means is it's been rigorously inspected to make sure that all the heavy metals and all the toxins have been taken out. So if you are taking fish oils for your health, first of all, it needs to be in a liquid form, not in capsule form. All the capsules out there are rancid. There's just no way to keep it fresh and keep it from oxidizing. So you need to make sure it's liquid, you need to make sure it's refrigerated, and you need to make sure that it's pharmaceutical grade. And one way to kind of check it for yourself, you can check out the company and see what their processing procedures are, but just take a sniff. If it smells fishy, it's rancid. If you eat it and it makes you burp up that fishy flavor, it's rancid. So most fish oil out there is rancid. You got to be really careful where you get it from. It's great for your health if you get the right kind in the right place, but you got to be super careful about that. And most fish oil is rancid. So you can do the sniff check or the burp check, or you can call the company and see how they manufacture their products. Okay, so this curry almond sauce, what I've done is you can either use almond butter or fresh almonds that you've soaked and then blended up. Either one works. And I find that adding the hemp seeds and the almond sauce to the sushi, it makes it taste good, but it also makes it really filling. So like the sushi can be a whole meal instead of just a little snack on the side. And again, you take the roller, can you guys see that? And you want to make it super tight. So you fold it over, then kind of like pull it back, and then roll it as tight as possible, like that. And then you need a super sharp knife to cut this with. Ow. Cut it into your little sushi pieces. Or you can just eat it like a burrito. Whatever suits your fancy. And you can do it like they do it at the sushi restaurant, where you stick it up like so and make it pretty. Or you can just eat it like a burrito. And there you go.